Before we start this video, let's listen to a clip.
The state governors met with their respective legislatures convening in the capital city. The state governors met with their respective legislatures convening in the capital city. The state governors met with their respective legislatures convening in the capital city. The state governors met with their respective legislatures convening in the capital city.
What did you hear? Most people believe they hear the following sentence. The state governors met with their respective legislatures convening in the capital city, with the cough inserted. However, the first S in legislatures does not exist at all. This phenomenon is called phonemic restoration effect. Simply saying, phonemic restoration is a kind of auditory illusion, because it creates something that does not exist. Imagine in daily communication, you hear some sentences, and some parts of them is ambiguous or hard to hear. But as long as you can get the context and understand the rough meaning of these sentences, your brain will automatically make up for the missing part. In other words, your brain lies to you and makes you perceptually think that you actually hear the missing sound, though it is not physically there. According to a study on cognitive and linguistic abilities and the phonemic restoration effect, this effect can even be useful in the development of new hearing aid technologies based on the cognitive and linguistic abilities of patients. As we can see, this effect is a little bit like a puzzle. Our brain cleverly fills in the gap to make it sound complete when part of the picture is missing. Why does it happen? How can our brains deal with this kind of auditory illusion? That's because human brain is good at rationalization. In other words, it is the ability of explaining discrepancies between sounds and meanings, making auditory incomplete sentence complete in meanings, etc. When there is some missing, but your brain can still figure out what the sentence means, it will automatically restore the sound to fill the gap, and it will also make things more consistent. It means what you hear should match what you understand. It's as if your brain says, "Don't worry, I've got this covered," and add the meaning auditory part to the sentence you hear, so that everything will make sense. And you cannot realize this process even though it actually happens in the brain. Technically, phonemic restoration effect also enables bilingual speakers to speak with less effort in front of monolingual speakers. According to a study, monolingual speakers can effectively and accurately know the whole sentences when hearing some fragmented audios. When bilingual people speak with their own accents or even speak with mistakes, thanks to the phonemic restoration effect, those little errors can be fixed in the ear of monolingual speaker. It's like having an automatic language editor in their heads. This means, as bilingual speakers, we can communicate more easily without worrying too much about error when talking with monolingual people. So, after knowing some knowledge of the phonemic restoration effect, as bilingual speaker, you may feel more confident in your speaking next time without always striving to get every pronunciation exactly right.